Good evening. This is the Sultanate of Oman television with 7 o'clock news bulletin. First, the headlines. The new price for super petrol and diesel is set at 160 paisa per litre and 140 for regular petrol. The Sultanate achieves 48th position at international level in applying e-government. And 65 physicians and 47 pharmacists are graduated from Oman Medical College. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The new price for super petrol and diesel was set at 160 paisa per litre in the Sultanate. That was decided by the committee tasked to study and determine selling prices of petroleum products in the Sultanate at its today's meeting. It said the new pricing will be applied as from the 15th of January. The committee also fixed the litre price of regular petrol at 140 paisa, but decided not to change price of jet fuel for the reason that it does not receive any government subsidy, while no changes in price for cooking gas. His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al-Aufi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas, stated that petroleum products prices will be the same at fuel stations all over the governorates of the wilayas of the Sultanate, mentioning that the committee will hold a meeting at the end of every month to determine monthly prices. He also said the committee will keep the same prices if international prices are near to the local market prices. He emphasized that Public Authority for Consumer Protection and fuel marketing companies will follow up prices at all fuel stations in the Sultanate to make sure that they are matching the announced prices. On the other hand, Oman oil price today is $28 and 36 cents per barrel. Dubai Mercantile Exchange mentioned that Oman oil March delivery had witnessed a decline by $1.21 compared to last Friday's price. Details of the 5th edition of Sultan Qaboos Award for Excellence in E-Government Services unveiled today in a workshop organized by the Information Technology Authority, ITA, with the participation of a number of representatives of the governmental and private institutions and small and medium-sized companies operating in the Sultanate, adding new categories to honor innovative efforts in the fields of accelerating electronic transforming and providing public services through smartphones. Distinguished the 5th edition of Sultan Qaboos Award for Excellence in E-Government. The ITA also unveiled during the workshop that the Sultanate achieved 48 positions at international level in applying e-government among 193 countries included in the report of Economy and Social Affairs at the United Nations. The workshop reviewed the details of the 5th edition of the award in addition to its categories, criteria and stages, beginning with the registration, evaluation and judging stages leading to the closing ceremony at the end of the year. The Sultanate worked to enhance applications of the e-government by a number of projects, topped by establishing the national infrastructure for fiber optic network and increasing force of broadband, which will lead to a growth in local production and will provide for new generation home internet services with high-speed connectivity, in addition to a number of applications in the project of Government Cloud, which considered as one of the basics to accelerate providing e-services.
This is a seminar designed to promote best practice across the Sultanate of Oman, to bring government leaders together to promote and share a vision of innovation and forward-looking service delivery for the citizens of Oman. Oman has made one of the strongest leaps in the UN e-government survey of any country in the world. It is now a model for governments that wish to innovate and transform service delivery for citizens, because it's now amongst the top 1/3 of the leaders internationally. Oman is 26th in the world, which is a phenomenal achievement for an administration that was paper-based in 2003. It's 26th in the world in delivering state-of-the-art online services for citizens to make their interactions with government easier and better.
In a related development, more than 90% of governmental institutions are worked on a comprehensive transforming plans. This was clarified by Dr. Salim bin Sultan Al-Razaiqi, Chief Executive Officer of Information Technology Authority, in a statement for the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman Television, and still to come in our news bulletin. The government of Punjab province in Pakistan launched an awareness campaign titled Women on Wheels to highlight gender-based problems on the street. Welcome back. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nomani, Minister of the Royal Office, received in his office today His Excellency Mohammed Sultan Al Suwaidi, Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates to the Sultanate. The meeting exchanged cordial conversations and discussed topics of concern to the two brotherly countries. The meeting also reviewed much of the good bilateral relations binding the Sultanate and the sisterly United Arab Emirates, in addition to touching on aspects of common concern. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nomani, Minister of Royal Office, received in his office today Vice Admiral Mark Fox, Deputy Commander of the U.S. Central Command, with the framework of his current visit to the Sultanate. At the beginning of the meeting, General Al Nomani welcomed the guest who expressed his delight to visit the Sultanate. The meeting exchanged cordial conversations and discussed topics of concern to the two friendly countries. The meeting also reviewed much of the good bilateral relations binding the Sultanate and USA and means of enhancing them in all fields to serve the joint interest. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harb Al Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, received in his office at Muaskar Bayt Al Falij today Vice Admiral Mark Fox, Deputy Commander of the U.S. Central Command, and his accompanying delegation currently visiting the Sultanate. The two sides reviewed fields of existing military cooperation between the Sultanate and the United States of America, besides discussing matters of common concern between the two friendly countries. The meeting was attended by the Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces and the delegation accompanying the guests. Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, received in his office at Muaskar al-Murtafa today Vice Admiral Mark Fox, Deputy Commander of the U.S. Central Command, and his accompanying delegation currently visiting the Sultanate. The meeting exchanged viewpoints and discussed a number of matters of common concern. The meeting was attended by Air Commodore Maktoum bin Salim al-Mazroui, Assistant SAF Chief of Staff for Training and Joint Exercises, and a number of SAF senior officers. Oman Medical College organized the graduation ceremony of its 8th batch of medicine students and the 9th batch of its pharmacy students yesterday. It was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Mohammed bin Salim Al Saeed, Chief of the Protocols Department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al Sarrai.
with huge attendance of parents, faculty members and graduates. Oman Medical College graduated 65 students of Doctor of Medicine, 47 students of Pharmacy and 4 students of Health Science.
Well, this is a very proud moment and a moment that we were waiting for 7 years. Actually, it's a pride for ourselves, our parents, our doctors and teachers who taught us, and of course our country after all, because we will be serving our country after all.
This ceremony included speeches of the college board director and the dean of the college, followed by presenting certificates for the graduates.
I feel really happy and I'm really excited. I feel very blessed and honored to graduate from this college and to be surrounded by such amazing people and to look at all the faculty, and I'm so thankful to everyone who has helped and supported me to come this far, and to all of our batch actually.
Oman Medical College was established in 2001 with academic partnership with West Virginia University in the United States, and it is considered as the second medicine institution in the Sultanate after Sultan Qaboos University Medicine College. This valuable batch will soon join the labor market with a treasure of skills, and they will definitely boost medicine sector with their efficient skills. Sultan bin Saif Sarai, Muscat.
Aspects of the 9th five-year plan of the Directorate General of Nursing at the Ministry of Health, and the focus on the discussion was on challenges facing human resources of nursing cadres in hospitals. Top discussions again of the meeting held by directors and heads of nursing in the Sultanate. The meeting touched upon the important role played in providing healthcare services to the society in general. Complementing specialization in research fields and determining build-up of performance indicators of scientific research's top outcome of the regional meeting of Scientific Research Council for Middle East and North Africa region convened in Muscat. The meeting called for the importance of encouraging establishments financing researchers to conduct researches in policies for women. The meeting also emphasized the unification of these views and their discussions in the global meeting planned to be held in India next May. With the participation of more than 20 government and private institutions, a number of ship owners and fishermen, the 5th Sharqiya Fisheries Forum inaugurated in the Wilaya of Surrey in the Governorate of South Sharqiya in order to enhance communication with various segments in the society, input plans and programs of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth in developing fisheries wealth sector, and discussed illegal workers' effects on fish stock. A forum which organized by the Directorate General for Fisheries Wealth in the Governorate of South Sharqiya and with sponsorship of Oman Liquefied Natural Gas aimed to discuss visions and aspirations of society members in developing fisheries sector, which expected to contribute in the local production. The biggest mural in the world at fish ports and a number of books which included secrets of seas were inaugurated in the forum. In its second edition, the contest conducted within activities of the Horses Traditional Sports Festival in the Wilaya of Manah in the Governorate of Dakhiliya witnessed an interactive participation by Shmukh Equestrian Club and the horses race of the Wilaya. The contest is organized by the Omani Equestrian Federation and contributes in developing such sports in all governorates of the Sultanate. With a wide participation from owners of camels and horses from different wilayas of the Sultanate, activities of Al-Arda running conducted within the annual festival of domestic camel races started in Al-Bahja background in the wilaya of Saham. The event is organized by the Royal Court Affairs represented by the Royal Cavalry and lasts for 5 days. It was held under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Nasser Al-Zahabi, Chairman of Public Authority for Civil Aviation. A number of Omani youth performed live shows as they ride Omani unique camels portraying traditional arts. In addition to that, poems were presented and winners of the participating camels in the race were honored. On the crowded roads of Pakistani cities, a new wave of female drivers are pushing the boundaries set for them by men. More details in the following report.
Trucks, a fixture on Pakistan's highways. But this one has an unusual sight in the cab. Shami Makhtar may well be the country's only female lorry driver. Abandoned by her husband after the birth of their 5th child, she struggled in odd jobs for years. Despite learning to drive a car and opening a driving school, she found it hard to pay the bills, so she decided to get behind the wheel.
If you need 10,000 rupees and get 7,000 rupees, it's a bit better than having nothing.
Women driving cars is not unusual in Pakistan, but like Shamin, others are pushing the social boundaries even further, a necessity made possible by her precious motorcycle.
It makes a person independent and responsible for themselves, especially girls. They don't remain dependent on others as they don't need to ask their brother or father to take them somewhere or pick them up.
But while the road offers independence, it also brings its own dangers. Women, no matter how they travel, often face abuse or harassment, especially in big cities like here in Lahore. For Zahra Aslam, the solution was simple: rickshaws for women, driven by women.
We are trying to help women become entrepreneurs and operators and owners of their own rickshaws. So they're not working for anybody else. They will be their own boss.
We should be able to travel in dignity, whether we're walking on the street, whether we're on cycles, whether we need to take public transport.
According to the International Labour Organization, 3/4 of Pakistani women do not work because of a lack of safe transport. But with schemes like this one, and female drivers breaking taboos elsewhere, women are perhaps slowly but surely making Pakistan's roads their own.
And now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of South Sharqiya and Hajar Mountains, with chances of scattered rainfall. The rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies. Winds over the coastal areas of Sea of Oman will be north to northeasterly light to moderate. Rest of the Sultanate, it will be northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate along the Sea of Oman with a maximum wave height of 2 meters, and along the rest of the Sultanate's coast it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 3 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The new price for super petrol and diesel is set at 160 paisa per litre and 140 for regular petrol. The Sultanate achieves 48th position at the international level in applying e-government. And 165 physicians and 47 pharmacists are graduated from Oman Medical College. With that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and studios, it's good night.